What's going on, football fans? It's your host, Bad Takes, with Bad Takes in Football. Back with another video for you. Gonna dive into the top 5 teams that need to address the running back room going into next season. But before I do that, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're building an awesome community here where we talk everything NFL football. I got plenty of exciting content coming to you this offseason, so please hit that subscribe button. Also, make sure to like and comment on this video. What do you think about the teams that I have on my list? Is there someone else that you'd add? Let's dive into today's video. Last week, I did a video on the teams that need to address the quarterback room, and this week, I want to address the running back room. I'm going to stick to 5 teams, and I'll go number 1 through 5 on my list, but let's talk about who really needs to address the running back room and why. The number 1 team on my list that needs to address the running back room is actually the Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs have one of the more explosive offenses in the past, but this past year they really struggled with what I would consider to be a lack of dynamic weapons out there that were available to them. Isaiah Pacheco and Kareem Hunt both have had down years. Kareem Hunt, I would consider to be a third down back, a go get a first down or go get a touchdown sort of guy. And Isaiah Pacheco, who's generally known for just keeping his legs going, getting that extra yards, the yards after contact, he just hasn't really been the same since he broke his leg. Could that change this upcoming year? I think potentially. But what we saw last year with the Kansas City Chiefs was everything from a running game perspective was essentially on Patrick Mahomes' back. And so that is why I really do expect the Chiefs to be the team to address this running back room as a number 1 priority. A lot of people have already put Jeremiah Love, the Notre Dame running back, as the first round pick for the Kansas City Chiefs. Obviously, things have to fall their way for that to be the case, but I don't think it's a hidden situation, knowing that the Chiefs need to address this running back room. They have pretty solid receivers, an aging tight end who I've heard Travis Kelce might actually come back. And so having a dynamic running back that can be a first through third down sort of running back would be a huge addition for this Chiefs team that found themselves outside of the playoffs for the first time in a very long time. Patrick Mahomes, I don't think that he's going to have any issues still throwing the ball. I don't think it's a situation where he's getting older and he needs the support from that perspective. More so just the fact that defenses have adjusted to the playing style of teams like the Chiefs. They understand how they like to operate. And so having a running back, making defenses guess even more what's going to happen with that ball after the snap is crucial for this Chiefs team to be able to get back to the playoffs. And that's why I have the Chiefs as my number 1 team. And again, I do expect them to draft a young running back because this is an older team. And so they need to continue to get younger building block pieces for after the times of players like a Travis Kelce out there. The number 2 team on my list when it comes to the running back room is the New Orleans Saints. The New Orleans Saints, in my opinion, actually struck gold and got very lucky with their second round pick that they had last year in drafting Tyler Shuck at quarterback. Alvin Kamara, who has been a staple of this team, is starting to get older, and we're seeing a lot of that wear and tear with the tread on the tires when it comes to Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara this past season ran for less than 500 yards. He had 471 yards on the ground this past season and 1 touchdown. For the Saints to really get to the next level and compete for the NFC South, getting a running back is going to be crucial for this team who has pretty decent weapons. I would say the biggest advantage that this team has is the fact that they do have some young talent at wide receiver and then at the quarterback position. And so again, if they get a running back in this room, I think they could actually be a little bit more competitive than people expect, especially in the NFC South. The third team on my list, people might not actually be expecting this one, but to me, I think this is actually super important. I'm talking about the San Francisco 49ers come in at number 3 for the team that need to address the running back position. The San Francisco 49ers, they had a great season this past season. Christian McCaffrey was healthy the entire season. They were able to make it to the playoffs before losing in the second round. And unfortunately for them, they are going to need to work on this running back room for a couple reasons, in my opinion. The first being, if you looked at the year prior, the San Francisco 49ers, they've had injury issues the past 2 years. The biggest difference between last year, where they had players like Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, amongst others, go down, was the fact that Christian McCaffrey was healthy. And what that tells you is that the running back position, especially a player like Christian McCaffrey, is extremely important for this 49ers team to be successful, especially on the offensive side. He's got a lot of wear and tear on his body as well, along with what I mentioned about Alvin Kamara. And so if this team doesn't want to drop a beat and have any issues, even if Christian McCaffrey turns out to get an injury this upcoming season, but also just for an overall replacement for down the road, I just think it's important for this team to address the running back position, because we saw how much of a drop off this team had when they didn't have Christian McCaffrey. And so getting someone ready to take his place, I think, is super important for this team. I think Kyle Shanahan is a great coach and saw that they have a flaw when it comes to the lack of being dynamic without a Christian McCaffrey out there. And so if they're able to find a running back, whether it's through free agency or through the draft, I think that would be extremely important for this 49ers team to keep on the trajectory that they have. The number 4 team that I think needs to address the running back room would be the Houston Texans. They did draft Woody Marks last year, who I think had some success, but they have an older running back in Nick Chubb. And what I saw out of CJ Stroud with the offensive line struggles and his issues in the playoffs, what that tells me is they need to be able to heavily rely on their run game if things are not going well for CJ Stroud. The Texans did average 108.9 yards on the ground this past season, but we really did see a major drop off towards the end of the year. And so again, I really do think it's important for this Texans team, for the sake of CJ Stroud, to really get a 3-down back there in order to really help this team. They already have such a great defense. And so to me, with the holes they have, it's at the offensive line and it's in the running back room. So if they can get a marquee running back, this team could be a very dangerous team for many years to come. The last team I have on my list is the Arizona Cardinals. The Arizona Cardinals were second to last in the leagues in average rushing yards per game with 93.1 yards per game. A huge aspect of that is the fact that James Conner went down with a serious injury and was out for almost the entire season this past year. I do expect him to be able to come back, but how much longer will James Conner be able to be the James Conner of old? James Conner is now at that number 30 when it comes to the running back age, where people start to be concerned about how much they have left in the tank. And with the injuries that he's had, I don't know how much more we can expect out of James Conner. They did draft Trey Benson, running back out of Florida State 2 years ago in the 3rd round. I think he's a great, 3rd and 1, 4th and goal sort of running back, but he's not an every down sort of running back. And so I think if this Cardinals team wants to be competitive in the NFC West, getting a running back is going to be a crucial part of that success, especially when they don't really know who their quarterback is going to be this upcoming year. Kyler Murray's on the trading block, and Jacoby Brissett might get a great contract from a team after his performance with the Cardinals this last year. So those are really the 5 teams that I have needing to address the running back room the most. Those 5 teams are the Kansas City Chiefs, the New Orleans Saints, the San Francisco 49ers, the Houston Texans, and then the Arizona Cardinals. Tell me what you think about this list. Is there someone that you think would be a great fit for these teams? Let me know down in the comments. That's it for me today. Thank you again for watching. This is Bad Takes with Bad Takes in Football, signing out.